Hi folks, it's Mike Murphy, and today's quick tip is in Adobe Photoshop and After Effects CC 2025. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create Luma Mattes in Photoshop and then import them into After Effects to create kind of a brush stroke transition like you see here. So Luma Mattes use black and white values to determine what is visible on a layer. And you set Luma Mattes under the Track Matte column down in the Layers panel. So if you don't see a Track Matte column in your Layers panel, you just right click on the header, go to Columns, and just make sure that Modes is checked. White areas of a Luma Matte are fully visible. Black areas are fully transparent. And anything that's gray or in between white and black is going to be partially transparent or partially visible. On the bottom layer, I just have a yellow solid. Above that is a still image of the clown. And above that, I have this Luma Matte video that I created in Photoshop. I'll select the clown layer, then go to the Track Matte column. You can click the drop down and select a layer that you want to use as a track matte, or just click on the pick whip. I'll click on the pick whip and drag it onto the Luma Matte layer above, and as soon as I let go, you'll see it's going to automatically hide the visibility of the layer. So I'll select it. Now we can see that clown layer. When I drag the CTI, you'll see that nothing is happening. That's because by default, when you set the track matte, it is going to be set as an alpha matte. An alpha matte requires an alpha channel or transparency. So what we need to do, you see the tooltip says click to switch to Luma Mattes. Remember, Luma Mattes use black and white values. So I'll click to add the Luma Matte, and now we're seeing brush strokes. I'll toggle on the visibility of the Luma Matte layer so you can understand what the white and black values are doing. So since we have the Luma Matte on the clown layer, whatever is white is going to show the clown layer. So I toggle off the visibility. Sure enough, all of those white areas we can see the clown layer. And whatever is black on the Luma Matte is going to hide the clown layer. When I toggle off the visibility of the Luma Matte, we're seeing yellow because it's hiding the clown layer and showing the layers below the clown. So if I toggle off the yellow background, we're just going to see transparency. If I drag the CTI down the timeline, you're seeing that it's just hiding the clown layer because the black from the Luma Matte is moving from left to right. And wherever you're seeing black, that's hiding the layer below. Whatever is white is visible. And if I were to toggle back on the background, now we're just going to see all yellow. And if you don't want the Luma Matte to brush off or to hide the clown layer, but instead you want it to brush on or to reveal the clown layer, well, all you have to do is simply invert the Luma Matte. To do so, you're going to go down to these two little boxes right here. This first box is where you set whether it's an alpha or Luma Matte. So in our case, the Luma Matte is selected. And this box right here, you just tick this whenever you want to invert the matte. When I drag the CTI, we're brushing on or we're revealing the cloud layer and we're hiding the background layer below. So here is how I created the Luma Matte in Photoshop. Create a new Photoshop document. I use 1920 by 1080 pixels, 72 ppi, click Create. Then open up the Timeline panel, go to the Window menu, choose Timeline. Now you could do a frame-by-frame animation, but I used the Video Timeline by clicking the drop-down, select Video Timeline, click Create Video Timeline. I set the frame rate of the video timeline to 24 frames per second by clicking on the hamburger menu in the top right corner of the timeline and choose Set Timeline Frame Rate. Just click the drop-down, choose a frame rate, or you can just manually enter in and click OK. I want each of my frames to be 4 frames long, so I just drag the CTI to the 4 frames mark. I can tell right here at the bottom I'm at 4 frames. I'm just going to come to the end of this layer and just trim it in. So to duplicate this with the exact same duration, go to the Layers panel, select it, and drag it onto the plus icon. Set the foreground and background colors to black and white. If you just tap the letter D, that'll reset the color chips. Then tap B for the brush tool and choose a brush. I'm using a natural chunky brush. It's in Kyle's paint box in the Mega Pack. For layer 1, I'm just going to keep that all white. I'll select layer 2, toggle on the visibility. With my brush tool, I'm simply going to make some brush strokes. I'll go to layer 3. The little trick, and the reason why I stack them all on top, on layer 3, I'm going to lower the opacity just so I can see the layer below. This is going to act as an onion skin. So I'm on layer 3, I have layer 3 selected, and I'm just going to go a little bit further. I'm just going to repeat this all the way down. Before you go to the next layer though, just make sure to change it back to 100% opacity. I'll toggle on 4, lower the opacity so I can see below. And you're just going all the way down. We're filling in everything as we go. Fast forward, here's what it looked like in the end. The bottom layer, I kept it all white. The next layer, I brushed a little bit, then went to the next layer. I lowered the opacity a little bit so I could see the layer below, and I just brushed a little bit further than what I did in the layer below. Once I was done, I just changed the opacity back to 100% and went to the next layer, did the same thing, raised the opacity back to 100 and went to the next layer, and then to the next layer, and the last layer, it's all black. Now because all of the clips are stacked on top of each other, when I drag the CTI, we don't see any changes. So we could either manually sequence the layers or stagger them down the timeline, but a cool little trick, if I select all of the layers and click on any one of these drop downs, if I choose New Video Group from Clips, that is going to create a video group folder, and video groups place all of the clips on the same track. So here we go. They're all selected. I'll click New Video Group from Clips, and just like magic, now all the clips are stacked on the same track. I'll click the play button to preview, and now we have ourselves a Luma Matte that we can export and bring into After Effects. And to export the Luma Matte from Photoshop, go to the top menu, go to File, Export, Render Video. Give it a name, choose where you want to save it, click this drop down. If you choose Adobe Media Encoder, you're going to export it as a video file. If you choose Photoshop Image Sequence, it's going to export all of the individual frames as PNGs. Either one is going to work pretty much the same when you import it into After Effects. I'm just going to choose Adobe Media Encoder. I'll keep it at H.264, high quality, 1920 by 1080. Just click Render. I'll drag the Luma Matte video from Photoshop right into the project panel of After Effects. In After Effects, I created a new composition, 1920, 1080 pixels, 24 frames per second, 10 seconds in duration. In this composition, I just added that yellow background layer and the still image of the clown. I'll drag the Luma Matte video from the project panel onto the layers panel, and I'm going to place it above the clown layer. If I tap the spacebar, I can preview it. Now it only lasts for 1 second. To fix that, I'm just going to right click on the Luma Matte layer, go to Time, and choose Enable Time Remapping. That's going to allow us to extend that layer for as long as we want. It also places 2 keyframes, and you just adjust the keyframes to adjust the speed. So the further the keyframes are apart, the slower the animation is going to be. Move them closer together to speed it up. I'm just going to put it at the 2-second mark. That looks good. I'll select the clown layer, go to the Track Matte column, click the pick whip, and drag it onto our Luma Matte video layer. Now remember, the default is set to Alpha Matte, so I'll click to change it to Luma Matte. We're just going to check this box to invert the Luma Matte. Perfect. And to go in the reverse direction, have it wipe off, I'll just drag the CTI a little bit past that second keyframe, let's say to the 3-second mark. I'll select both of these keyframes. I'll press Command or Control C to copy, Command or Control V to paste. With the 2 keyframes selected, I'll right click, go to Keyframe Assistant, Time Reverse Keyframes. Now it's going to wipe on the clown, hold for a little bit, then go in the reverse direction, wipe off. And for finishing touches, just to give our Luma Matte a little bit more animation, I added the Turbulent Displace effect. I option clicked on the random seed property and just put in the simple expression time times 4. So now we've got this nice little wavy animation. Even when the Luma Matte stopped, it's going to continue animating because of that expression. And then I just added the noise effect. I set it to 25% and just unchecked use color noise. And that is how you can create brush stroke Luma Matte animations in Adobe Photoshop, export them as a video file or a PNG sequence, then bring them into After Effects where you can show and hide layers using the Luma Matte track matte. My name is Mike Murphy. Cheers.